Perplexity's recently launched Perplexity Labs, and what you can do with it is really impressive. Where most AI tools just give you answers, Perplexity Labs actually builds things for you within its answer. You get full spreadsheets, mini apps, charts, reports, dashboards, all within Perplexity itself, and it's integrating deep research, web browsing, code execution, data formatting, chart generation, all in a really streamlined single session. It's acting like a full virtual team for you, if you will. This is super useful for business owners, and in this video, I'm gonna show you 9 mind-blowing use cases that you can start implementing in your Perplexity account today. Now, by the way, you do need the Pro plan, is it the Pro plan, the $20 a month plan, in order to get access to Labs. This is what it looks like inside of Perplexity. So when you log into Perplexity, you're gonna see the normal chat where you can ask questions and so forth, search. The next little icon here is now called Research, renamed from Deep Research, and then right next to it is Labs, which is what we're going to be using here today. Now, one thing you might be wondering is, when do you choose Research versus Labs? Well, Research is going to give you answers to your complex questions in like 3 to 4 minutes, which is ideal for quick information gathering. That's a step beyond the normal search in Perplexity. Labs, on the other hand, is going to give you a sophisticated output in 10 plus minutes, again, producing advanced files, mini apps, dashboards, etc., that are going to really enhance whatever it is that you're asking it to do. For use case number 1, I want a business scaling system that is in the mold of Alex Hormozi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to Perplexity Labs here, and I'm going to say I'm obsessed with how Alex Hormozi systematizes and scales businesses. Operational frameworks are next level, blah, blah, blah. And I'm basically asking a whole bunch of questions and telling it the type of information that I want it to give me. So you can see here, I need a complete systematization roadmap, is that even a word, with KPIs, team structure recommendations, and a 24-month scaling timeline. The goal is to build a business. So I'm giving it all of this information here within this prompt. Now, I will say that you're going to be prompting Perplexity Labs a little bit different than you would normal Perplexity. So let's see what this gives us. So the first thing that you're gonna see is gonna tell you how long it's gonna take to put this report together for you. And it will walk you through the steps that it's doing in order to compile whatever the output that it's going to give you, which I really, really like. And one thing I was really curious about when starting to test Perplexity Labs is, what would it look like to take the exact same prompt that I'm putting here into Perplexity Labs and put it into Manus or GenSpark or Gemini Deep Research, so that I could compare the results of all these tools to Perplexity Labs. Okay, let's start by putting this into Manus and see what Manus gives us. And while that's going, let's put it into GenSpark. And I've also just put this into Gemini Deep Research using the 2.5 Pro model, and let's see what that gives us. The project is just wrapped up in Perplexity Labs. Let's take a look at this. It's actually really, really cool. So goes through, you can see the charts, Hormozi scaling revenue plus team growth, goes through the different phases and foundations of your business, talks about the value equation, the 8 playbook system, $100 million leads book, and what he talks about there. Early stage playbooks, advanced stage, goes through different KPI frameworks, performance metrics, creates these charts for you, goes through the critical hiring sequence, and each of the phases here. I personally like this because I'm a very visual person, so I love how it created all of the charts and so forth. And in Perplexity style, you can go down here and ask follow-up questions as it has here at the bottom. Now, at the top here, you can go through, you can click on the Assets tab here, and it'll show you all the things that it produced during the project and how it built it out. So for example, if I want to look at the KPI framework, I can look at this, and I can just download this part if I want to, and I can scroll through each of the assets here. So this is the lead generation playbook, for example, the scaling framework. And so I can have I can have these in CSV files if I want to. Also, if I want to go back and look at the different steps, again, I can go through and look at the steps that it put together. And so overall, for our first pass here, I think this is really, really good. And again, I love the charts. And this one doesn't even include a mini app that it built. In upcoming use cases here I'm going to show you, we're going to build some apps. Now let's take a quick look at what Manus gave us, asking the exact same prompt here. And you can see over here on the right-hand side, this is what Manus produced. And again, it's all text, right? There's no images or charts like we saw in Perplexity Labs here. Going through, it's obviously following the same, maybe not obviously, but it's following the same format in terms of key metrics and breaking it down, team structure recommendations, because we asked it to do that. But again, it's just a text output here, giving us the timeline, no charts or anything like that. It's decent, but I really like Perplexity Labs output better. All right, now let's take a look at GenSpark. And again, asking the exact same prompt. And this is what GenSpark gave me. And by the way, I love GenSpark. I use it all the time. But I got to say, comparing it to Perplexity Labs output, it is really, really lacking. Again, it's giving us the same types of phases and breakdown and all that stuff like that. But again, it's just text, and it's not as comprehensive as either Manus or Perplexity Labs. And finally, here's the Gemini Deep Research output. I think this is actually pretty good. I think it's better than Manus. I don't think it's as good as Perplexity Labs though, but you can see here, it breaks it down, heavy text. It does put some tables in here, which I do like. So for example, the Grand Slam offer construction matrix gives us that chart right here, the growth engine. So it breaks it all down and it's really comprehensive. The other thing I could do with this is I can go do different things. I can create a web page out of this. I can create an infographic, audio overview of that, which I really like. But again, I'm really loving the Perplexity Labs output and just the type of report that it's given me. And like I said, if you think that's impressive, wait until you see what it can do for your entire product launch, which I'll show you here in just a second. But first, if you're anything like me, you collect a ton of knowledge while you're online. And the problem was I was always losing track of it. I'd rewatch the same tutorials, the videos, listen to the same podcast episodes, sometimes reread the same documentation. And I was always feeling just scattered and I really wasn't learning anything as a result. Well, Recall changed that. It captures and summarizes anything that I watch, read, listen to, or pretty much open online, and it saves it in one AI-powered knowledge base. It's become a must-have in my daily routine. It instantly summarizes YouTube videos, podcasts, PDFs, articles, and more. I can chat with all of that content and have it saved in my knowledge base. And a really cool feature, by the way, within Recall has been the quiz on my mobile device. When I've got a few minutes to spare, for example, I just run through my personalized learning schedule that is created for me right within Recall. Now, I've linked to Recall in the description below. Definitely got to check it out. Make sure to use the promo code RECALLRICK to get 25% off Recall. For the second use case, I want Perplexity Labs to give me an AI-driven, what I'm going to call a niche domination blueprint. And so I'm going to ask Labs to analyze the AI education market and find untapped sub-niches where I can establish authority super fast. And I've written out a really comprehensive prompt here. I've given it step-by-step exactly what I want it to do. And while this is running, I'll show you sort of the template for the prompt I like to use within Perplexity Labs. So here's the Perplexity Labs prompt best practices template that I put together because this is getting me the best results that I've seen within Perplexity Labs. So start off pretty much normal stuff here when it comes to prompting. You give it the role and a goal. The goal is really specific. You want to tell Perplexity Labs, you want to tell it what you want as a result from the prompt, okay? So you're giving it the role and the goal, audience and context. So who is the audience? So who's going to be using this? So whether it's for you and your business, or maybe you're going to be using Perplexity Labs to do research for clients or what have you, that's going to be really important to make sure that it's accurate within step number 2 here. Then you're going to do data and sources, so knowledge files or anything like that. The fourth part is analytical framework. Then you want to specify what kind of output that you want, style and tone, and quality and success criteria. So as you can see here, there are a lot of similarities between a quote unquote normal prompt, but there are some unique differences here because of what Perplexity Labs can do. And by the way, I put together a Perplexity Labs prompt builder GPT where you just give it a little bit of information and it'll write the full on prompt for you that you can use in Perplexity Labs based on that template that I just showed you. So I'll link to where you can grab it below. Just enter your email and I'll send you the GPT. Let's check back in with the prompt we put into Perplexity Labs about the niche domination blueprint. It says about 2 minutes left, but oh, now it says about a minute left. Okay, cool. These are all the steps that it's taking and excited to see what it gives us. So I've just got the results here within Perplexity Labs. And I got to say, The time it tells you that it will take to finish up the report, don't trust that. This took about easily 15 minutes to do, which I don't mind because check out this report. So the first thing it does is it gives me an interactive app, essentially right here. So I can click on full screen and this is all interactive. So AI market growth projections over the next 5 years. And, you know, some text is hard to read, certainly, but it's interactive. I can say, oh, course creators, membership communities, and it will change the charts dynamically. And then based on what you choose, it'll give you the content strategy and channel optimization broken down within a 30-day increment. Really, really cool. Then detailed recommendations, YouTube strategy, newsletter strategy, membership expansion, revenue optimization, market pain points. And I mean, then you can go and export all of this stuff. It's really, really cool what it has built. I'm so impressed here with what Perplexity Labs has given me for this prompt. And then again, I can go up here to click on the app tab for that same app I just looked at. By the way, it did give us the Amazon S3 link down the bottom here. I forget where it is. Right here. Yeah, so dashboard access, I can click on that and it'll take me right to that. Come back up at the top, the app, then the assets again. So these are all the different charts and so forth that it put together during the process of putting that report together, the steps, then the 117 resources that it went through. So if you want to go to any one specific resource that it pulled from, you can do that, but super impressed with the output on this prompt. And by the way, think about how much you'd have to pay for a report like that to do the kind of research, or a consultant that you'd have to hire to give a report like that. And we just did that in 15 minutes, paying $20 a month with Perplexity Labs. Now for this use case, it's so important in your business before you build anything in terms of a course or a product or membership or what have you, or a tool, you've got to validate it first. So in this next use case, I want to leverage Perplexity Labs as an AI optimized product validation tool. And so what this is going to do, it's going to create a complete validation workflow for me, market demand analysis, landing page, A/B test, conversion projections, etc. Again, really comprehensive using that template I showed you before. And let's see what it gives us. All right, here's the result of this prompt. It's created a complete workflow. As you can see, I'll show you the app here in just a second, but it's given us the validation framework overview, the category structure, product validation scorecards. We can click on that. There we go. And look at it more closely, max score and current. So this will make more sense once I show you the app that it created, but it's given us a systematic validation process broken down into phases that we can follow. The testing method and optimization strategy. It's just giving me this entire plan step by step in a complete workflow broken down by what to do first, what to do next, success metrics. Let's take a look at this app that it built. So we click on the app tab at the top here. You can see that quick actions, continue current project, select target market size. And again, it's all broken down within the overall report, but then it puts it into a really cool interactive app that it's built, testing methods, templates, analytics, timeline, and so forth. So really cool stuff. Again, assets that it built. So if you want to look at the different charts that it put together, validation methods, comparison, broken down, and then see all the coding and stuff like that, the charts. I mean, really, really cool. Again, giving us a step-by-step product validation roadmap all within, that took about 20 minutes for it to run through. And again, I'm showing you examples of ones with interactive apps because again, I'm a very visual person. I really like that. But if you don't want the apps, I mean, you can edit the prompt in whatever way that you want. If you want more charts or you don't want any charts, you can just put that into the prompt in terms of what kind of output that you're looking for. For this next use case, let's use Perplexity Labs to create a brand growth engine. Let's use it to give us a complete step-by-step plan for growing our brand. And essentially, I've created this prompt here that you see on the screen. It's not entirely accurate, so I wanted to give it, YouTube subscribers. Yes, I'm at 65K, want to hit 100K by the end of the year. Grow the newsletter. It's not at 0, but I wanted to see what it would give me from, 0 to say 30K. I give it my niche, and then I give it my step-by-step exactly what I want to see in terms of a strategy. Give it my audience, and then tell it, give me a complete growth blueprint with monthly action plans, content calendar templates, tracking dashboard, etc. And click go, and let's see what it gives us. All right, starts off giving us an executive summary, which is cool. Gives us, let's see, conservative, moderate, aggressive, and then newsletter growth. Yeah, so it gives us projections over the next several months, broken out again by conservative. I like that. Again, I'm a very visual person, so I really like the charts. Then it did a bunch of analysis and research on top 5 AI education YouTubers. I don't necessarily agree with these because there are I think there are far more relevant channels, but that's okay. You can see what it's doing here. You can also tell it you can give it the competitors if you want to go look at itself. Otherwise, you can just let it go, which is exactly what I did. And then it gives you a milestone breakdown, content strategy framework for maximum growth. Here's your AI content calendar strategy, newsletter growth, cross-platform content calendar, conversion funnel optimization broken down. Gives you this nice chart here. So I like this a lot. A little bit of an infographic here. And then a 6-month action plan broken down by month. So really, really like this. Gives us a dashboard that we can look at. It's just an illustrative dashboard. So I would like to see that turned into a mini app, which I could totally ask it to do in a follow-up question here, but I really like this. And again, as always with the Perplexity Lab results, I can go up here, click on the assets. You can see all the different charts and so forth. It goes through all the steps that it took to get here. So overall, I really like this. I would go back and change a few things in terms of within the instructions. I'd be more specific on the competitive channels that I want to look at, as well as turning this dashboard down here into more of an interactive dashboard so I can actually use it and put in different numbers and get different action plans based on those numbers. But I think a really cool use case, especially how it's broken down step by step, month by month, telling you exactly what to do. Speaking of competitors, with this next use case, I'm going to use Perplexity Labs to build me essentially a competitor intelligence system. And what this is going to do is going to monitor top 10 competitors in real time. It can monitor their pricing changes, content performance, etc. So check this prompt out here, where I'm telling it I need to build a systematic competitor intelligence machine that I can run every month, or you can run this however frequently you want. And I'm going to show you a way to schedule this as a task, actually, so that it runs whenever you want it to run. Then I describe my business. I tell the price of the AI playbook, my community, and then I'm telling it what I want. So I want a complete 360-degree analysis that covers their pricing, et cetera, et cetera. And then to rank the top 10 competitors by threat level, quote unquote. Although, honestly, I really don't believe in competitors, honestly. But this is the prompt I'm going to use. And then I will show you how you can schedule this to run whenever it is, whatever frequency you want it to run at. Okay, and here's the result of the output from Perplexity Labs here. So systematic competitor intelligence machine for the AI playbook. Gives me an app here. So let's just view full screen. Is this an interactive app? Yes, it is. So it gives me a dashboard here with the executive summary, recent activity. So this is where you can download this code and actually, I mean, it's already built the dashboard. So you can download this code, run it locally, what have you. And you can sort through competitor rankings, market analysis, monthly report, monitoring tools. I mean, really cool stuff. And again, you can customize it. So all threat levels, high, and then it just goes through each one of these. So let's look at the rest of the report here that it gave us. Strategic insights, ranked by threat level, quote unquote. Yeah, then it breaks down each one of these companies and then also the specifics for each one of these companies, whether they are selling something or how many subscribers they have or what have you. The different pricing models that a lot of these businesses have, competitive positioning, so monitoring tools, immediate action items. So I went and did this whole research thing and put this together for me. And again, I love how it breaks it down week by week, month by month, into an actionable plan. And I especially love this interactive dashboard that it gave me, so that I can, again, either go into app here. Here's the app, and I can customize this. I can download the code, etc. But another really cool use case here with Perplexity Labs. So as I just mentioned, I can totally schedule this prompt to run whenever I want. So you can schedule it under Perplexity's tasks. So you go down under account, go to tasks, and you'll see labs, the same labs option here. So let's go ahead and paste this in here. And then I can also schedule this. So I can click on the plus button, give it the instructions. I can give it the schedule whenever I want this to run. Again, the mode, I'm choosing the Perplexity Labs option, click save. And there you go. Let's just say I want to run this once a month and then get it delivered to me. So I can go monthly on whatever day. So let's just say I run it on the 1st at, 9 a.m. on the 1st. So then every month I'll get an updated report just like this with new charts, a new dashboard, new pie charts, etc., that I can go through and make any kind of changes to my own business if I want to, if necessary. Now let's use Perplexity Labs to take that previous use case about competitive intelligence a step further. And I want to dive into creating a dynamic pricing simulation tool. So basically, I want Perplexity Labs to look at pricing strategy from a whole bunch of different other similar companies as me. And then I want to use the information that it gathers for me in terms of optimizing revenue. So I wanted to create a dashboard essentially. Okay. Now this is great, especially if you work with clients. I mean, this is a service that you can offer your clients, and you can see here, the role that I've given it is a pricing strategist and revenue optimization specialist with expertise in behavioral economics. And you can see the primary objective here. Again, being very specific, and I wanted to develop a dynamic pricing simulation tool that optimizes revenue while maintaining customer satisfaction. And I've given it a whole bunch of sample data in order to create this. So let's see what it gives us. All right, so within about 20 minutes or so, it took a while because it's a pretty comprehensive tool that it created. I'll show you here in just a second, but it's created a revenue optimization strategy here, again, based on the fictional data that I gave it. So it gives us the executive summary again, the market landscape, competitive analysis, the charts with the different pricing findings, price analysis, revenue, demand, and profit, key elasticity insights, customer lifetime value. So you can look at how customer lifetime value will change based on pricing changes, gives you the segment characteristics and what sort of their pricing sweet spot is. So again, really, really comprehensive. And it kind of got hung up on the app. It was taking a long time. So I actually stopped it and then asked it, you can see here, build the app you were trying to build. So I just restarted it again. And then this is the app that it created. So pricing configuration, quick scenarios, current, aggressive, premium. So let's just say I want aggressive. And again, it will change based on any of the information that you're giving it on the different scenarios. So you can do current again and come down here, competitor snapshot, and it will look at, it'll break it all down for you. Obviously, this is going to depend on the data that you give it, but it looks so simple. I think it's given us a really, really good, it did this in like 20 minutes, right? Maybe 25 minutes total, but you can see here, it allows us to experiment with different pricing options and see the impact and the effect that will have on a business, whether it's your own business or whether your clients, and just did it with the prompt that I gave it here at the top, which wasn't all that extensive. It's long simply because I gave it a bunch of data, but you'd be doing the same thing in CSV format But yeah, I'm really impressed with the results that it's given me here. All right, for this next one, if you're creating any kind of content in your business, this next use case is going to save you dozens of hours. We're going to use Perplexity Labs as a content repurposing engine. I want to ask it to give me a complete step-by-step plan for how it recommends repurposing content. So turning essentially one piece of content maybe into 15 different pieces of content, 5 different platforms, 0 extra work. It's going to show you exactly how to turn, say, like your YouTube video or podcast script into newsletters, social posts, even course modules if you want. Now, this is the prompt that I've given it. So I've given it the persona of your content strategy and digital marketing automation specialist. Focus on maximizing content ROI. And the primary objective here, again, I've given it fictional data, but to use the uploaded content performance data and platform insights. So you're essentially going to want to get the performance data from your YouTube videos or from your newsletters or from your podcast episodes or what have you, and then upload that into the prompt here in Perplexity Labs. And we're asking it to create a systematic content repurposing workflow that multiplies content reach by 5x while reducing content creation by 60%. All right, let's see what it gives us. All right, here's the results that it has given us. So the high leverage content repurposing workflow, it says May 2024, by the way, because I've given it, again, the fictional data, but giving the content performance score. So it has assigned a composite score to each different piece of content from that month. Given us key insights, action tiers, created criteria, created a transformation playbook. So it's telling us the types of things that we can do with a single piece of content, whether it's a LinkedIn post, a podcast episode, YouTube, given us output variants, tells us what tools that we can use for it, a distribution calendar and cadence, what to look for in terms of post frequency, how we can automate this whole thing because it's the architecture. Really breaks it down really nicely. It's a shorter result, so I would probably want to be asking follow-up questions, which I can do down here, or I can go back up to the prompt and make it a little bit more extensive, but it's essentially telling me exactly what I can do to not only increase the amount of people that see the content by repurposing it and giving us a repurposing flow, but also drastically reducing the amount of time it's going to take to do that. So again, not as good as the other ones, but at the same time, I really do like, think about how you can use this in your business, or again, if you're working with a client, what could you do with this sort of thing with their business and selling this type of workflow? I mean, Perplexity Labs is giving you the step-by-step what to do. Now you just go sell it. For use case number 8, let's use Perplexity Labs to create a thought leadership content strategy for your business, okay? And so the reason we want to do this is, or what I want to do with this is I want to leverage Perplexity Labs to create a 10-part content series to, again, position myself as the go-to person in my niche. And again, be thinking about how you could be doing this for your specific business or a client's business. So here's the prompt that I've put together. You're a thought leadership content strategist specializing in AI education, authority building, and positioning experts in the AI implementation space. So again, what I've done with this is I've personalized it to me and my business. Here's the primary objective. Like I just mentioned, create a comprehensive 10-part content series for me, driving audience growth, et cetera, et cetera. And everything, again, I've given it my own information. So analytical framework, output specs that I want, style and tone, quality and success criteria. So I'm really asking it to go out and do a bunch of research for me and then put together a comprehensive authority building plan. Let's see what it comes up with. All right, here's the result. Starts off with the executive summary again, gives me a market analysis and strategic positioning, which I really like. Critical pain points, driving content strategies. So it gives me a nice chart here. So time management issues, keeping up with AI changes, love it. It did the research. 89% of entrepreneurs waste 8 hours per week on AI tool confusion. Okay, I'd want to know what the source is on that. Gives me a competitive landscape analysis again. And then it starts to break down the series, gives me tagline, the title, publishing schedule, risk growth projections here in terms of the content. Okay, top content ideas with the conversion score optimization. And then, yeah, it gives me like episode 1, episode 2, breaks it all down here. So let's see what else it gave me back here. Authority building strategy. So proprietary framework development. I really like this. This is actually really, really good. Lead magnet strategy, social media, monetization and growth strategy. So it's really comprehensive. And again, I love the fact that this isn't, specifically for Perplexity Labs, but yes, with Perplexity, I can go down here and easily ask follow-up questions. What are the most overlooked AI gaps online entrepreneurs face today, for example? Let's say I want to dive into that, or I wanted to create some sort of dashboard out of this for KPIs and stuff like that. Totally do that. It will take a few minutes for it to do it, but it'll do it. And it'll do, as you can see from previous use cases here in the video, it'll do a really good job with it. And for this use case, we're going to use Perplexity Labs to help us create a business process automation analyzer. Essentially, we can upload our business processes, our SOPs, what our processes are to do, workflows in the business, et cetera, into Perplexity Labs. And we can ask it, it will help us identify exactly what to automate, which tools to use, and also calculate the ROI of automating these types of things. This is a game changer if you are overwhelmed in your business. So this is the prompt. We'll just share the persona and the primary objective. You're a business process optimization specialist and automation consultant focused on operational efficiency. Create a comprehensive automation strategy that reduces manual work by 60%, giving us clear ROI projections and a roadmap for implementation. So let's see what it gave us for this one. All right, the first thing you can see that it gave us is an app. So I love when it gives us app. So you can see here, it's total monthly savings, automation progress. So it's tracking, dashboard. You can break it down by department. So you can just look at marketing, all departments, etc. Current cost, monthly savings, ROI, tells us the recommended tool, etc. Implementation roadmap, ROI calculators. So you can just move these things around. I mean, it created this in a matter of, again, it took about 20 minutes. And that's just the first thing that it created for this result. So now it gives us the operational efficiency roadmap. Again, starting off with the executive summary, current state, automation impact by department. Let's see here, priority matrix framework, what to start off with, gives us the quick wins and so forth. Really like this. Here's the implementation roadmap, phase broken out by phase, current miles or critical milestones to hit. And then expected savings with this graph here. I mean, this is really, really good stuff. Risk management, change management, priorities, success metrics, monitoring. So again, I think it knocked it out of the park with this, especially with this use case here. So be thinking about how, if you're a consultant, for example, and you're doing this for businesses, taking their specific information and leveraging it to create a step-by-step plan just like this, sharing charts like this, sharing a dashboard with a client. I mean, it's doing all the, like Perplexity Labs is doing all the work for you. And it's only taking, I mean, this took less than 30 minutes for it to put all this together. So huge win for you. And I think it's, again, it's done a really, really good job with the output that it's given me with, it's not an extensive prompt, but at the same time, I am telling it exactly what I want and the type of output that I'm looking for. So there you have it, Perplexity Labs. I mean, 9 use cases that I think are mind-blowing what Perplexity Labs is able to do, especially compared to what else is on, on the market right now. Super, super impressed with what Perplexity Labs is giving us. If you want more step-by-step frameworks and prompts and workflows and automations similar to what we're talking about here on the channel, and you're an online business, You want to leverage AI so that you can streamline your business and increase profit in the process? I want to encourage you to join me in my AI Playbook community. I'll link to it in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.